to this session. Thanks for joining us. This is going to be a little introductory session to the holotropic breathing process, and then we'll go into it. So just to start with, as usual, we'll do a little introductory chat and discussion on today's quote. It's a good way to introduce it. I'm just going to share my screen. Let me know if you can see it. Can you see the screen okay?
Yeah.
Excellent. So, Elaine, will you read that quote for us, please?
I suddenly understood the message of so many spiritual teachers that the only revolution that can work is the inner transformation of every human being.
And that's by a guy called Stanislav Grof, who is the founder of this methodology called holotropic breathwork. So just go a little bit into his story. It's a good introduction to what this is and how it came about. So he was born in Czechoslovakia, went over to America, and in the 50s and 60s started experimenting with LSD as a treatment method for his patients. So the idea was to get them to go into an altered state so they could relive past memories, go into past traumas, release them, work through them. And he would sit with these patients for 6-7 hours while they were in this altered state, having taken LSD. And he'd kind of guide them through this process of releasing, and they'd talk about it, and emotions would come up. And he noticed that towards the end of the sessions, sort of 4 or 5 hours into it, they would start breathing quite deeply and slowly. And that seemed to kind of extend the period of time that they were in this kind of altered state. And he also, sometimes they would say, well, just kind of touch me, because they'd have some pain arising in the body. And so he kind of put his hands on. And so he was a very good kind of observer, and he made careful notes. And through all of this, he started recognizing that maybe the breathing was actually quite instrumental. It seemed to be a consequence, but it was part of this whole state. And then the U.S. government banned LSD for this legal use, because they just said, well, it was being misused, I guess, by all the the hippies and so on. So they just said, no, we're banning it outright. You can't use it. And so he was forced to look elsewhere than a drug. And the obvious place to look was in breathing. He started this holotropic breath work, just experimenting with patients, and he and his wife started running these sessions, and people started joining. They started getting some amazing results, and they developed this whole technique where people would have a buddy, and you would sit with one buddy, would sit with the other, and then you'd swap places, and you'd do this breathing for an hour and a half, and then afterwards they'd draw like a mandala of what they'd seen. And they found it really helpful that people would go very deep into their own psyche, and they'd have all kinds of experiences. They'd see into the past, their past traumas, pre-birth. There's the idea there's this kind of a birth trauma. So there's one guy called Leonard Orr who then made it into something called rebirthing. So you go and you have a pre-birth experience using this breathwork technique. And so a whole kind of different modality of healing developed, and they then kind of stepped back a bit. Other people started running it, and they carried on doing research. And he's still alive. He's 90 now, as his wife died, but he's still around. I'm not sure how active he is, but as he says here, this is all about the inner transformation of consciousness. The only revolution, as he said, I understood that the only revolution that ever is going to work is the inner transformation of every human being. And so any technique or technology that's going to help that is obviously part of this revolution. We're at a time in history where everything seems to be up in the air, everything seems to be changing. I think human society is shifting. We're going into another mode of being, and the catalyst for all of this is the inner transformation. And that's really what this holotropic breathing is about. It's about a technique to facilitate an inner transformation of consciousness, which, as every spiritual teacher, including Jesus, has said since time immemorial, that this is where it's at. That there's nothing else really to focus on. This is, as he says very succinctly in the Course in Miracles, seek not to change the world, but choose to change your mind about the world. And I'll just actually bring up that. All right, so someone's joined us. Hi, Ephrat, that must be you. Am I right? Or not? That looks like Hebrew to me. Hi, is that Ephrat?
It's not Efrat.
Okay, it's someone from Ephrat.
It's someone from Efrat, yeah.
Okay, I didn't recognize the Hebrew. Sorry, I don't read Hebrew. What is your name?
My name is Chen.
Chen.
Michael.
Yeah.
How do you say that?
I will try to change my name to English in fact. Okay.
Okay. Well, welcome. We've just started, so you haven't really missed very much. I'm just doing a little introductory talk. So thank you for joining us. And I'll just put you on mute because there's a lot of scratching going on. But if you have any comments or questions, we'll have a little discussion just now. So feel free to join in. Okay, so I'll just put you on mute. So this is where it comes from. This is introduction to chapter 21, which is entitled Reason and Perception. So maybe actually, Elaine, why don't you will you read the first paragraph first? Because this then puts this quote from Jesus into context.
Projection makes perception. The world you see is what you gave it, nothing more than that. But though it is no more than that, it is not less. Therefore, to you, it is important. It is the witness to your state of mind, the outside picture of an inward condition. As a man thinketh, so he perceive. Therefore, seek not to change the world, but choose to change your mind about the world. Perception is a result and not a cause. And that is why order of difficulty in miracles is meaningless. Everything looked upon with vision is healed and holy. Nothing perceived without it means anything. And where there is no meaning, there is chaos.
So any thoughts on that paragraph?
But we create our perceptions. The world is what we perceive it to be, and we are, we can choose our perceptions of the world. We are in control of that. And it's a reflection of your inner frame of mind or being, the way you see things. From the way you perceive them is a reflection of your inner state of mind.
So seek not to change the world. That's the key line. So instead of going, I want to change the external, it's an outer revolution. The inner revolution, the inner transformation that Stan Groff is talking about is choosing to change your mind about the world. So when you change your mind, you change your perception, the world changes because the world is in your perception. This is the very simple teaching. So you don't need to go and seek to change anything externally. Just by changing your perception, you have changed the world. Just by changing your perception. So in a moment, the world changes because you shift your perception, because it's held in your perception. And it's quite a profound insight. It's actually very simple, but most human beings miss this. So it's not about the external change. It's about changing my perception, and I can change that like that. I can change that in an instant if I choose to. If I choose not to, then I hang on to my old perception. And so this is what every spiritual teacher has taught. You can change your mind pretty much instantly. And you can, in changing your perception, you do change the world, because the world is in your mind. The world is a perceptual world. So you change your perception, you change the world. Very, very simple. And then as a result of that, if you've really changed your mind, everything changes, because your thoughts and your words and your actions are going to change based on your perception. So this is why the only transformation that's going to work is the inner transformation, as Stan Groff says. And then Jesus continues by saying, well, a universal theology is impossible. So theology is never going to unite us. We have so many different theologies, different religions, different belief systems, and people disagree. And so that's impossible, because that's all in the mind. It's like I have various beliefs and ideas and dogmas, and that just tends to perpetuate the separation. But the universal experience is not only possible, but necessary. So he's pointing us to the experiential nature of this. It's not only possible, but it's necessary. In order for this unity to come into our minds and into the world, the universal experience is necessary. So he's pointing us to experience, not just to mere dogma, to theology, to belief. He's pointing us within, right? This inner transformation in our experience. And these experiences are what's been called a mystic or mystical experience in spiritual circles. So Abraham Maslow, who you might be familiar with some of his work, he's famous for the hierarchy of needs. And most people think there's a hierarchy of 5, with self-actualization at the top. But he actually revised that towards the end of his life, and he had an expanded hierarchy of needs. Let me just click on that, actually. He had an expanded hierarchy of needs, where at the very top of the pyramid of these needs was, so that's his initial one. Physiological, then safety, then love and belonging, then simple esteem, then self-actualization. But then he revised it. So that was the original hierarchy, 5-stage model. But then he revised it to include transcendence. The expanded hierarchy of needs, as you can see here, has cognitive needs as well. So that's knowledge and understanding. There's Ephrat. Knowledge and understanding, curiosity, exploration, the need for meaning and predictability. It's got aesthetic needs. Then he put self-actualization. And at the very top of the pyramid over here, he put transcendence, because he saw that a person can be motivated by values which transcend their personal self. And he used as examples mystical experiences, experiences with nature, which can often take you into basically altered state experiences where you really feel not normal. But he called these peak experiences because the academia of his time, psychological academia, didn't like the mystical term, but he maintained that the mystical experience and the peak experience are identical. They're exactly the same thing. It's just terminology. other experiences, aesthetic experiences, sexual experiences, service to others, the pursuit of science, religion, and so on. These are the need for transcendence. It's actually very similar to what Viktor Frankl postulated, because he was also a psychologist, and he postulated, based on his experiences in World War II concentration camp, that there was this need for meaning. Man had a need for meaning. It's the same idea. Man has this need for some kind of transcendent meaning. We have a need for transcendent meaning in our lives, and this is what this addresses. This quote and this teaching, that we want a deeper experience. We get tired with the shallow pleasure seeking. We get tired of just seeking something external to seemingly fulfill ourselves. And there's a yearning for something deeper, and only an inner experience can give us that deeper thing. So that's what holotropic breathing is really about. It's about giving you a deeper experience. It's able to transcend your normal everyday experience. You transcend the normal state of consciousness. You transcend desire and fear and any other egoic emotion, and you go deep in within yourself, and you have this what's called mystical or peak experience. So there's two ways of typically of doing this. The one way is drugs, and I've talked about LSD, but there's other drugs like mescaline, psilocybin, DMT, in plants like mushrooms and San Pedro and ayahuasca, and you might have heard of those. Some of you might have tried some of them, and that's one path. It's the shamanic path, and it can activate an altered experience. But there are a couple of risks to doing this. If you open your mind to the idea of drug use, it can lead to addiction to other drugs. I've seen that in a friend of mine. Also, you go on a trip, and if you don't like the trip, you might be in there for a day or two, depending on what you've taken. There's potentially risks with dosage. You don't know how you're going to react, because you're putting a substance that's external to you into your body. So I never particularly like that idea, because you never know what's going to happen. So Stan Graf has proposed something else. This is the other way. Through breath work, through breathing and going into altered states, you can go into these transcendent, transpersonal, mystic states. Meditation is really at its highest level. It's a transcendent state. You go into something that's completely different from your normal state of consciousness. So through this particular breathing technique that they worked out over years and through trial and error, they found that this really takes people into an altered state quite quickly. So this doesn't take hours and hours. It can be as short as 45 minutes. That's what I propose doing today, is just a 45-minute breathing session with you all. I'll guide you through it. You can extend it to an hour and a half or 2 hours sometimes. We're not going to do that today, but you can. And people would have very profound experiences. One chap who used to do the sessions I ran did some research on it, and he said, well, in his view, this was more profound than some of these Buddhist masters that had achieved in years of just normal meditating, that you could go into a deeper state just through this breathing in 45 minutes to an hour. And he did it a number of times. So he had the experience of it. So it's a modality, and this is where it sits. I'm just giving you the background and the framework to it. This is how it came about, and they saw, Stan and his wife, that this really did have some powerful effects on people. It could help them to heal past traumas. It could help them to go into childhood, things that they'd forgotten, they'd suppressed in their mind, and would bring the stuff up. And they would then have an experience of it. They might re-experience that experience. They might have visions. They feel emotions. And so they would have a safe space, and someone would sit with them. They've developed a modality where they had a sitter and a breather. And then so the sitter is just sitting and holding a space with the person, and the person's going to breathe. And they would just be there as a presence. If necessary, they might touch them, or we'll just hold their hand or comfort them through this process. So it would really help them. So that's not possible today because of the virtual nature of it, but I'm going to be guiding you through it. So I'll be talking and you just listen to my voice. And if you have someone with you, you can ask them to sit with you and just kind of be with you if that's possible. Otherwise, just kind of listen to my voice and stay with the voice because it's just going to guide you through it. And whatever arises, just keep breathing. That's really the thing. Just keep the breath going
And
in the pattern that I'm going to show you.
Jono,
Yes.
I think the audio we have to download for the breathing session is the one called Metamorphic Music, right?
Correct. Yes. Correct.
Okay.
Did you get that?
Thank you.
Yeah. So that's
Yeah, I got that. Yeah.
it's a 45-minute Native American shamanic track, and the idea is the music helps you go into this altered state. So they also found that by putting music to it and getting people to listen to this emotionally evocative music, it would really help them to go into these altered states. And I found the same. So we put music on it. Ideally, listen to that with headphones if you can. And if you haven't got the music, then I'll send it to you, Chen and Efrat. Hi, Efrat. If you want the music and you want to listen to it, you can do it without music, but it does kind of expand enhance the experience. So I can send it to you right now via WhatsApp, and then you can play it on your phone. So you can play it through one app on your phone, plug in headphones, and listen to me on Zoom at the same time, or you can do it on your computer. It's up to you how you want to set it up. But I'll put you all on mute so there'll be no cross interference, and I'll just be guiding you. Because I found that if I play the music, it can distort with the internet. It's my connection and it's your connection. I've got a pretty stable one, but if you're on a mobile connection or something, the music distorts, and then it kind of can be a bit disturbing. So if you've got the track on your local device, it's better. So if anyone would like that, Chen, if you would like that, if you send me your number, I've got Efrat, I'll just send it to you via WhatsApp right now. Just stick your number in the chat, and I can do that. Okay, and Efrat, I'll send it to you. Are you going to do the breathing with us?
Yes, sure.
Okay, all right, fantastic. So let me just take this opportunity to introduce Efrat. Efrat is a Course in Miracles teacher. He's been doing this for many years, 35 years, Efrat, am I correct? And she teaches in Israel, and she's got an online group in Spain, and Chen must be connected to that. So thank you for inviting her, and welcome, Efrat. I hope you enjoy this session.
I'm going to enjoy it. Thank you so much, John.
Yeah, my pleasure. So any questions so far? Has anyone got any questions or concerns before we kind of go into the breathing?
Can I just ask you, John, that 2 minutes before 3, just to let me know so that I don't need to, or I can set my alarm.
Set your alarm.
Should I do that rather? Okay, so
because we'll be in the middle of it. So you'll get about half an hour in if we start in 5 minutes.
Okay.
And then just what I give yourself is like a couple of minutes just to come out of it, because you'll be in quite a deep state if you're doing it.
5 minutes.
5 minutes to come out of it, and just breathe normally through your nose. Just a normal breath. Stop the breathing technique that I'm going to show you, and just come back and let the sensation subside, and then slowly roll over, and then get up. You don't want to just go straight out of it and get up. You might just fall over. We don't want that. Okay, because you're going to be lying down, so you want to make comfortable space, just the logistics of it. So lie down next to your device somewhere. So whatever you're using, a phone, computer, you want to lie down on the floor, make yourself comfortable, a little cushion under your head, nothing too high though. but just so you're comfortable. And maybe you want a blanket or something to cover you as well, depending on what the temperature is there. But even in, it's 30 degrees here, even in 30-degree heat, people can actually get cold because it changes your biochemistry. It changes the body temperature sometimes. So a little blanket or something over you, and a cushion under your head, and so that you can hear me. If you're using a phone, you can stick in headphones, and then play the music via another app, and then you can listen to me on Zoom. And I'll put you on mute so that no music will be coming through for everyone else. So that's the best way of doing it. If you like the music track now, Jen, stick your thing in the chat, your mobile number. You're on WhatsApp, and then I can just send it straight through to you. And Efrat, would you like it? I'll send it to you if you like.
Please, Jonah, please send it to me. Yeah, I just set here everything, so I'll be ready. And
excellent. So Efrat, maybe you can forward it to Chen. Do you have Chen's?
Yes,
That's the
send.
easiest
I
way
will
of doing it.
send it. Sure, I will
Okay.
send it directly to
So it's
Chen.
coming. It should be arriving now on WhatsApp. If you send it to Chen, then she's got it.
Yeah.
Thank
just get your
you,
logistics
Jonathan.
in place.
I also want to say that my husband is here with me. He's going to join us also.
Okay. Is he going to do the breathing, or he's just going to sit with you?
Yeah, he's going to do the breathing.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, so I see you put something in the chat. Okay, but Efrat, you're going to send it to Chen.
Yes, I will.
Yeah. Okay, fantastic. I'll just make a note of that. Okay, so any questions about the setup, the logistics, what you're going to be doing? Okay, so it's about a 45-minute process, roughly, and then I'll take you through a little 6-minute, a beautiful music track. Just when I start playing that, I'll say, come out of it. You're just going to start breathing normally through your nose, and you'll notice that the sensations subside. So what you can expect to happen is that your body might start tingling, going numb, your hands and your feet, your extremities, maybe your whole body goes numb, because that's what happens when you do this kind of breathing. It's a natural response of the body. So you're pushing a whole lot of energy. This is prana or chi or life energy into your system, but you are stationary. So there's nowhere else for it to go. It goes into all the cells and they start vibrating. You feel this tingling sensation. So it's all normal. It's part of the process. You might feel physically uncomfortable. Times you might have sensations in the body that are not that pleasant. If you've got an area of your body where there's pain, you might find that pain activates, because that's what happens. The energy goes there and you start feeling it. You might find emotions coming up. So that can be whatever, quite deep emotions. People can feel sad, and then they can move through that in a few minutes, and then you can feel very joyful, and you can laugh and you can cry, and all kinds of things can happen. You can go into past experiences in your life. Memories come up. You can see visions. I've had people seeing visions of seemingly past lives. Who knows what it was, but someone said, well, I kind of saw myself as a shaman, and I'm like, yeah, well, possibly I can't say for sure. It's your experience, but you can see visions, or anything can happen. So it's a process that you don't know what's going to happen, but you've got to just trust. So what you do is you commend the whole thing to the Holy Spirit, and you say, I'm giving this over to the Holy Spirit. This is for my healing. I do ask you to say that, thank you for my healing. Thank you for my breathing, a little kind of mantra as you go through this. And it's just, if you give it to that healing power we call the Holy Spirit, then know that it's all happening for your highest good, and that you're safe, and that it's being guided by this power, this presence, and just be determined to go with the breathing. So just keep breathing. That's all you need to do for this 45-minute period. If you feel like it's too intense, then you can breathe through your nose. You can switch between mouth breathing and nose breathing. I'm going to suggest you start with mouth breathing because I've found in my experience that it's more powerful. People tend to get a deeper experience. Someone else is arriving. Great, just in time. So I'm just going to guide you through the actual breathing technique. It's really, really simple, but very powerful if you do this, repeatedly. So this is the essence of the technique. You're going to be lying down on your back. You're going to have your hands just next to your side comfortably, palms facing upwards, and just a little cushion under your head to make you comfortable. I'd put a blanket over you, just in case your body temperature changes, even if it's quite warm there. Cover yourself, and you're going to breathe through your mouth to start with. As I said, you can switch to nasal breathing if you feel like it's too much. You can switch to nasal breathing, and you can moderate the breathing accordingly, because the breathing is what's really driving this. So if the sensations are too intense, you could just breathe normally for a minute or two, and then you could go back to this breathing. So you're in control of this. You're totally in control. You're your own guide.
Can you?
Yes.
I missed it. Can you just repeat again? The last thing I heard was palms up.
Was what?
The last thing I heard was that you said we put our palms
Palms
up.
up. Yes. So you have your palms facing upwards. Cover yourself with a blanket. Put a little cushion under your head, not too high, and you might want to lie down on a carpet or a bed so that it's not too hard. But the floor is fine. This floor carpet should be fine. So make sure you're comfortable, and ideally you've got a glass of water or something next to you, because you might get thirsty. Your mouth can get dry, so you can take a sip of water during the process if you need to. And then you're just going to start this breathing. So you're going to be breathing ideally through your mouth to start with. And as I said, you can alternate to your nose if you find that the mouth breathing is too much. It's too dry in your throat, or sensations are too intense. Switching to nasal breathing will just calm it down a bit. And the whole point is just go find a breathing rhythm that works for you. I'm going to give you the basic technique, but try and find a rhythm quite soon that works for you. And everyone's got their own kind of style with this. So as long as you're doing deep breaths in and out repeatedly, you're doing pretty well. That's the general idea. Okay. So the technique that I've found works pretty effectively is a 3-phase breath. That's why I call it a metamorphic breath. So it's a little kind of tweak on standard holotropic breathing. But you might find that these 3 phases just merge into one as you go, and that's absolutely fine. But it's just to get you started. So I'll demonstrate quickly. So lying down, you're going to be breathing through your mouth, and you go, right? First phase of the breath is kind of into the lower part of the chest. You feel your diaphragm rise a bit, but it's quite a chest breath. You're not. So the nasal breath tends to go into a deep diaphragmatic breath, and so then the stomach really pushes out. So that'll happen to an extent, but into the chest, then into the middle chest. That's the second phase of the breath, and then to the upper chest. So 3-phase breath. I'll do it. Exhale. One exhale, and then into the next inhale. So you fill your entire your chest up, and you'll feel that expansion. 3 phases, so maybe 3-4 seconds for the whole 3-phase breath, maybe 5, just depending on what works for you. And then exhale out, and then just kind of cycle straight into the next inhale. So just try that. Just do 2 or 3 breaths like that, just to make sure you got the technique going. And you should actually feel some, just 2 or 3 breaths, just feel some kind of sensations already in the body. It's quite powerful immediately. So has everyone kind of got that?
Are we supposed to breathe like that for 45 minutes?
Yes.
3. Okay.
Yeah. As I said, as you go into it, you'll find your own rhythm. And it's more important that you find your rhythm and that it's comfortable than that you go, well, I have to stick rigidly to what I've told you. The main thing is you're breathing nice, deep breaths in and then out. So it's a full breath and you're breathing pretty much into your chest rather than into the diaphragm, right? So you'll see that the chest is moving, not so much the diaphragm. But again, if you find a rhythm with it and you find that your stomach's rising, you're breathing through your nose, that's okay, as long as you're breathing. If you stop the breathing, then it's going to stop the effect of it. And the effect of it is that you're bringing in a lot of this prana or life energy or chi into your body and breathing as though you were running a marathon, but you're not. You're just stationary. So all of that energy then goes into your body, and that's what's giving you these sensations. It's the tingling and the vibrating, and energy is a catalyst for emotion. Energy and our subconscious mind are intimately connected. So then it brings up thoughts and emotions from parts of your mind that are not normally accessible. So it's a way to go very deep. If you visualize, like on the very surface level of our minds, we've got this this conscious mind, and that's normally associated with just our physical sensations and what's going on in the world. And then just below that level is the emotional level. Most people don't go into that very often. So this cuts you through that just sensations into the emotions. And if you can go through egoic emotions, you break through into core beliefs below that. So you might actually start hitting some really core belief stuff, and it's uncomfortable, but that's just part of the process. So it gives rise to that. And if you can go through core beliefs, below that is spirit or God. Below that is your own pure formless awareness, which you can access. I've had people who've really had profound mystical experiences in this, where one guy who wasn't particularly spiritual overtly, quite in his mind, left brain management consultant type of person, came and he said he couldn't speak. He said, I can't speak for 5 minutes. He said, I experienced the love of God. I really felt so just absolutely loved. He broke through to that level and he had that experience. That's what we call a mystical experience. And it this was just a catalyst for it. So that can happen. I can't say what will happen for you. Anything can happen, but just be willing to go through it for this 45 minutes so that you allow it to happen, and give it to the Holy Spirit, as I said, and say, this is I'm doing this for my healing.
John, can you?
Yeah. Any questions?
Yeah, can you repeat the instructions a little bit slower? English is my second language, so I have to make sure that I understand everything right.
Okay. So the instructions for the breathing. Okay. So you're going to be lying down, palms facing upwards, just comfortably next to your sides. Get a cushion, get a blanket. Make sure you're comfortable physically. You're going to start breathing in this 3-phase pattern. Okay, so what I call a metamorphic breath. So it's into your chest. So first phase, kind of into the lower part of the chest, middle chest, second phase, and then upper chest. So it's a maximal inhale breath. Your lungs are filled up, and then you exhale. And you just roll. It's called connected breathing. One breath leads into another. So you hit the bottom of the exhale, and then you go into the next 3-phase breath. Okay, and if you find those after a few minutes, those breaths kind of merge into one long breath, that's okay. Just find your rhythm with it. The main thing is you get into a rhythm, and the breath just kind of takes you for the 45 minutes. So it might feel a little difficult to start with, but if you can just get into it, you'll find that actually 45 minutes goes quite quickly.
And I'm starting with the lower part, lower chest, then middle, and up.
Yes, three
Okay.
phases. Do that
I
to
got
start with because it gets you into the pattern of breathing very deeply. And then as you go, you might just find they merge into one, and that's okay. You might find you want to switch to nasal breathing because you can do the same thing with nasal breathing. The nasal breathing will tend to activate the diaphragm, so the stomach will push out a bit more. That's okay. If you feel like you want to do that, it will tend to maybe diminish the sensations a bit. So if you feel like it's a bit too intense, you can breathe through your nose for a bit, and then you could switch to mouth. And I'll just kind of say these instructions as we go, because you'll be going to hear my voice the whole time. I'm speaking most of the time. So try and just stay present to my voice, because that's going to keep you present to the practice. It's very easy to slip in to a deeper state where you just kind of go unconscious and then you stop the breathing. So try and keep some attention on my voice the whole time, because that's going to keep you conscious and breathing.
Can I let my eyes open because I already feel sleepy?
Huh?
Can I let my eyes?
Yeah, I guess if you're feeling you're dropping off, you could open your eyes, but generally this is done with eyes closed,
Okay.
because the eyes closed helps you go within. As soon as you open your eyes, now you've got all of your sensory perception and you're on that level. So it's trying to take you into your mind. So try and keep your eyes closed as much as possible, and listen to my voice just to connect you. And if you do happen to just go into a very deep sleep, that's not the worst thing in the world. You're getting some rest that you obviously need. You're not getting like a necessary holotropic experience, but that can happen. So whatever happens is what needs to happen for you. So it's all good. So give it to the Holy Spirit now and just say, whatever needs to happen for my highest good and my healing should happen. So okay. So any questions on any of this before we go into it and actually start? Any questions? Everyone good? Has everyone got the music track? I don't think Yoav probably has. Yoav, can you hear us? So I'll ask you to play the music track. Hi, nice to meet you. So this to go with this breathing is a music track which I've sent to Efrat. So if you can play that on your phone or whatever device you're using while we're doing this, then you'll get a better experience. If I play the music, it can get distorted because it's going via Zoom, and Zoom and music don't generally do too well together because it's reliant on the internet connection on both sides. So if you play it, it's a 45-minute track, which is the length of the breathing session on your phone while you can listen to me. So keep present to my voice. So you've got those two going on at the same time, and then you can adjust the volume accordingly. So Efrat, have you sent the track to Yoav as well? Okay. You muted.
Okay, תודה.
Great. So Efrat's going to send it to you. So thank you, Efrat, again for inviting Yoav and Chen. And yeah, enjoy the breathing. It's a really powerful experience. And afterwards, we'll just have a little coming out of it. I'll play some music, and then we'll just have a little chat. So anyone want to share their experience, you're most welcome. Okay, so where's Elaine? Is she still with us? Elaine? So given that it's now almost 10:02, you probably don't want to start this because you're just going to get into it and then you're going to have to go to a meeting. So, but we will do this in the Art of Letting Go course. So you will get an opportunity to do this. Okay. Okay. So any other questions? Everyone understand the process? Everyone understand what we're doing?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So So let's go with this. Just gonna get yourselves ready. So you want to be lying down, so you can hear me clearly. Ideally, put headphones in if you're using a phone, but just so you can hear my voice clearly, put the volume up to the right level. And you're going to get the track ready so you can play it. So when I say, right, ready and start the track, then start it so that we're all starting in sync. I'll mute everyone, so don't worry about the music coming through. And then I'll start guiding it. Okay, so is everyone kind of ready? Just let me know. Okay, everyone ready? Does anyone need more time? Okay, so you ready? Elena, I would suggest you start because you've got to go in 10 minutes. So
yeah.
Just log off. You can listen to the the first bit, but yeah, you're just going to be getting into it, and then you're going to have to come out of it. So
should I log off now?
yeah, you may as well. Yeah, and I mean then you can get ready for your meeting and stuff. So
Okay.
we will do this as part of the Art of Letting Go course.
Okay.
Which so you'll get an experience of it. Okay.
All right. Thanks, John. I'll do it for 2
We're going
minutes.
to still do our coaching session later or not?
No, I did leave you a message about that.
Okay.
I mean, we can do it much later. You can drop me a message, but
Yeah, later.
I've got it
Okay,
about
evening.
3 to 4:30. I'm tired of.
Yes. Okay.
After that,
It'll
I'm
be 5
available.
o'clock. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Elaine.
Should we
See
make
you.
it?
I'll see you then.
Would you
5
like to
o'clock.
make it for? Okay.
No,
All right.
no
Thanks.
problem.
Cheers.
Okay. Bye. Enjoy your meeting.
Bye.
Okay. So any other questions, everyone? Everyone ready? Logistics all in place? Okay. So I'm going to ask you to start the recording. So start the music. Get the music going and just start this breathing pattern. So you're going to be breathing nice deep breaths into your chest. So it's into the lower part of the chest, first stage of the breath, and into the middle chest, and then into the upper chest. And then exhale, one smooth breath. So the whole breath might take you 4 or 5 seconds. And then you go straight into the next phase, the next inhale. So do it in the 3 phases to start with. So I'll just do a few so if you follow me, you get into the rhythm. Then at the bottom of the exhale, move into the inhale, exhale. Sorry, smooth exhale out. Don't have to do the exhale in 3 phases. So and just find a rhythm with it. Try and get into rhythm as quickly as possible. Breathing in 3 phases to the lower chest, middle chest, and upper chest. And then exhale out smoothly, out through the mouth, in through the mouth. As I said, if you find that too hectic, you can switch to nasal breathing. So that would be same 3-phase breath through the nose, and then exhale out through the nose, or out through the mouth if you prefer. So find your own rhythm, try and get into that rhythm pretty quickly, and just let the breathing take you. So say to yourself, thank you for my breathing, and thank you for my healing. Thank you for my breathing, thank you for my healing. And you're really just asking the Holy Spirit for help and guidance, that this session is given to it and it's happening all for your highest good and for your healing. So just keep this breath flowing. It's all you're going to do for the next 40 minutes. Just breathing nice, deep, slow, rhythmical breaths. Get into a rhythm. Say thank you for my healing. Thank you for my breathing. And let the music and the breath and this little mantra, thank you for my healing, thank you for my breathing, just take you where it wants to take you. And don't resist the process. So this is about surrender. Right? You let the breath take you, you let the Holy Spirit guide you into whatever state you need to go into. Are you noticing any sensations in the body already? Feeling some tingling in your hands and your feet? That's completely normal. Tingling sensations, vibration sensation. In your extremities, in your face. It's all completely normal. So it's part of the process. Just keep the breath going. That's all you've got to do for the next 40 minutes. Keep breathing. Say every now and then to yourself, thank you for my healing and thank you for my breathing. Just breathing in and out through your mouth, ideally. 3-phase breath. So first phase into the lower part of the chest, second phase into the middle part, third phase into the upper part, and then roll straight into the exhale. So it's connected breathing. You're breathing in this flowing rhythm. So if you find those 3 phases start to flow into one phase, that's okay. Just so that it needs to be a deep breath. And then as you hit the top of the inhale, you just roll straight into the exhale. You don't pause and hold it. You just go straight into the exhale and you let it out. And then at the bottom of the exhale, again, go straight into the next inhale. So one breath just rolls into another. Each inhale rolls into the exhale, which rolls into the next inhale. And there's a flow. You get into this nice rhythmical flowing pattern of the breath. And just keep that going. That's all you have to do. Keep the breath flowing. There's nowhere else to go. There's nothing else to do. And there's nothing else to think about. Just keep the breath going. Just flow with it. Let the breath take you. And whatever experience that needs to happen. And if there's anything uncomfortable arising, uncomfortable physical sensations, uncomfortable emotions, just be willing to keep breathing and breathe through them. And remember that everything in this world arises and passes away. So this too will pass. You let it arise, you experience it briefly, and then you let it pass away. and it will pass away. The deepest, darkest emotion will not stay. You can just move through it. Just keep the breathing going and you will move through it. So whatever's arising, whatever you're experiencing, just go with the experience. You're not in control. The breath is taking you and leading you, and the Holy Spirit is guiding the whole process. So just surrender to its guidance. If you find resistance arising, you want to hold on, you don't want to breathe properly, you want to stop, just observe that. And let the Holy Spirit just tell you that you need to carry on. Just keep going. It's all going to be fine. You're safe, you're supported, you're guided, connected to the Spirit, and it's leading you through this process, guiding you into this very deep state in which healing can happen. You're putting yourself in the field of transformation. As Stan Groff, who is responsible for inventing this technique, he and his wife said, the only revolution that's ever going to work is the inner transformation of every human being. And this technique is designed to facilitate that. So just go with it. Keep the breath flowing in and out through your mouth. Find a rhythm with it. If it becomes one long, deep breath, that's okay. So as long as you're breathing, deep, slow, rhythmical breaths. If you need to switch to nasal breathing because you find the mouth breathing too uncomfortable, sensations are too uncomfortable, you can do that. But if it's all good, no need to change it, just keep breathing. Say thank you for my healing. Thank you for my breathing. Just keep the breath flowing. In and out through your mouth. Get into a rhythm, let the music take you deeper and deeper into your mind. And just surrender to the process. Nowhere else to go, nothing else to do, nothing else to think about. Nothing more important than just breathing in this deep rhythmical flowing pattern for the next half an hour or so. So you're all doing really well. Just keep going and keep flowing with the breath. So just keep the breath going. Nice, deep, slow, rhythmical breaths. Say thank you for my healing and thank you for my breathing. And let the breath take you wherever it wants to take you. You're just surrendering. You are being breathed. And you are being done through by this healing power that we call the Holy Spirit. So just keep the breath flowing, breathing in and out in this deep rhythmical pattern. If you find the breathing's changing, it's deepening, just go with that. Remember, you are being breathed. You're not the breather, you're being breathed. You're being done through. And your only job is to get out of the way and surrender and allow this process to happen through you. And you allow whatever experience to happen without resistance. Emotions are coming up. If there's any kind of negative emotion, don't even judge it. Don't call it negative. It's just an emotion. Same with your body sensations. Whatever the sensations are, they're just sensations. And you just witness them. You're the observer. Just allowing these things to pass through your experience. They come and they go. It's the nature of the illusion is everything arises and it passes away. And what's left, the very base, the very core of your being, must be your source. God, love, source, being, spirit. Very essence, the presence of who you are. And just maybe this process is going to give you a taste of that, a glimpse of that divine essence. And your only job is to keep breathing, to allow this experience to happen. So just keep the breath going. Say thank you for my healing. Thank you for my breathing. And there's nowhere else to go, and there's nothing else to do. For the next 25 minutes, just breathe. Nice, deep, slow, rhythmical pattern. So you might find you just getting into a deeper pattern. Just go with that. If you find it's too uncomfortable, then just moderate it. You can breathe less deeply. You can breathe through your nose instead. Try taking a few normal breaths through your nose and then return to the pattern of the breathing. Ideally, just keep breathing. It's your only job. It's your part in this deal. It's a very small part. The rest is done by the Holy Spirit. Presence of God or love. Just guiding you through this transformational journey, this healing process. Just bringing to mind any experiences that maybe you need to revisit. You might be going into past traumas, memories, experiences, visions, past lives, pre-birth. People can go into the womb. Whatever's happening for you, just experience it, just allow it. And know that it will pass. It will arise, you'll have the experience, it'll pass away. But in having that experience, there's some healing. There's a letting go. Of another part of the self-concept we call the ego. It defines us by the past, projects that into the future. Desire and fear are its predominant emotions. Guilt as well, guilt, fear, anger, attack. If any of these are arising, just observe them. Let them arise and then pass away. Just keep breathing, knowing that if you keep breathing, you're just helping them on their way. Helping the Holy Spirit to clear them. So this is just a technique to help the real healer, which is the Holy Spirit, to clear your mind, to clear away a little bit more of this false egoic thought system that is deeply entrenched in your mind. And this really gets to the core of it. In 45 minutes, you can go through the emotions, into core beliefs. If you find any very uncomfortable emotions arising, starting to hit core beliefs. And that's very good. You want to go through those core beliefs, beyond the core beliefs, into the light that lies beyond them, the very base of your mind. Lies the pure formless awareness that you really are, that is your true identity, that is God. So maybe, you just may get a glimpse of that today, or maybe a deep experience of it. And it might just be beyond whatever you're going through now. Whatever the emotions, thoughts, and sensations, they will arise and pass away, and the clouds just blow away, and the light will reveal itself. So just keep going. If you're going through some clouds, just keep going, knowing that they are ephemeral, they are not true. Just want to let them arise and pass away. Help them on their way with your breath. So keep this rhythmical pattern of the breathing going. 3-phase breath, or maybe it's merged into one phase, into the chest, ideally through the mouth, and then exhale out through the mouth, and then smoothly into the next inhale. And just keep that pattern going. If you need to switch to nasal breathing through your nose, you can do the same pattern. 3-phase breath, filling the lungs completely, and then roll straight into the exhale, out through the nose, or the mouth as you prefer. And just let the rhythm of your breath take you deeper and deeper into this healing experience, going into your own mind. This is about inner transformation. So it's your own experience. Eyes are closed. It's just going into your mind. No sensory perceptions need influence. Whatever your experience is, can be a completely inner experience. So just allow this to happen, to unfold for the next 20 minutes. Go deeper to the experience. Each breath going deeper. Say thank you for my healing. Thank you for my breathing. And just keep the breath flowing. Another 20 odd minutes. Nowhere else to go. Nothing else to do. Nothing else to think about. Just breathe and relax. Be still. Calm in the eye of the storm. So even if emotions and sensations are flowing through your mind, you're the stillness, centeredness, the eye of the hurricane. It's completely calm. So maybe you can sense this calm presence in you, even though there's lots of sensations and emotions blowing around. That's all on the periphery, it's on the surface of your mind. The deeper core, this is getting you to that eye of the storm, into the stillness. And that's where you'll find God and your self, capital self. Self that is unmoved and unshaken and unshakable by any emotions, sensations, thoughts, sense perceptions. So although you might be having an intense experience of it, storm is raging through your mind, still this calm center. So just go there. Let yourself be taken into it deeper and deeper with each breath. Moving through cloud patterns into the light beyond. Find you struggling with that, just breathe. Ask for help. Thank you for my healing. Thank you for my breathing. Asking your own Holy Spirit, which is the remembrance of who you really are, the remembrance of oneness, of your source. Ask that to help you this process. And it will guide you surely, because this process is part of the journey home, and its only intention is to take you home. Back to your source, back to God. So just allow this experience to unfold. There's nowhere else to go, nothing else to do, nothing else to think about. Just breathe. Keep the breath flowing. Whatever rhythm is working for you, just surrender to that and just deepen into it for the last part of the session. Doing really well. Only about 14 minutes to go. So just keep the breath flowing, keep it going, keep breathing, just allowing whatever to arise, to arise. Saying to yourself, thank you for my healing. Thank you for my breathing. Thank you for my healing. Thank you for my breathing. So I'm just going to leave you in silence for a few minutes. Just keep the breath going and flowing. The music guide you, take you where it wants to take you, just surrendering completely, letting it all go. Only got 12 minutes to go. So letting it all go and just allowing the Holy Spirit to completely take charge for the next few minutes of deep silence. So just keep the breath flowing, keep the breath going. Not very long to go, just a few minutes. So just deepen a little bit into the experience through the breath. Deepen the rhythm of it. Say thank you for my healing. Thank you for my breathing. And just allow whatever needs to happen for the next few minutes to happen, just to close out the experience. Maybe you're just moving through some difficult emotions, and now the Holy Spirit's going to show you the light beyond it. Moving through the clouds into the light. And so surrender to that experience. You may feel peace, love, joy. You want to smile, laugh, cry. The body can move and shake. Whatever it is, just go with it. Another few minutes. Just another 5 minutes or so to go. So keep going with the breath. Keep breathing and flowing. Deepening, the music will quieten. So you just let that take you into this deeper, calmer state. As you wind it down. And you deepen your breath a bit, slow your breath and deepen it. Just guide it intuitively to what should happen. For the next 4 minutes to close out this profound session. So just keep the breath going for a couple more minutes, deepening into it, slowing it down. Feeling a calmness, a peace arising in you after the storm, Everything's died down. Things are just calm and everything's clean and washed out. So you feel that very peaceful, calm, washed out, clean sensation in you. Just resting in God, your own true self and pure formless awareness. And you let the breath take you there, just as it's guided you through the whole session, take you into this deeper state. And just another minute or so to go, just slowing the breathing down. Start breathing through your nose, and that feels right. Deep, slow, rhythmical breaths, quieting everything. Deepening into deep, calm, quiet space. And so now you're going to just stop the holotropic breathing, the metamorphic breathing. It's going to be breathing in and out through your nose. Nice, deep, slow, comfortable breaths. Just normal breaths through your nose. Just to quieten everything down. Just lie here for a few minutes as you listen to this profound song, and just let the words really speak to you. It's called 100,000 Angels. Just breathing, relaxing, and again, just surrender to the music. And let the words move you in whatever way they want to move you. Yeah, so just lying, it's very still, calm, quiet place. Play some very soothing music to you. Just stay there for as long as you need to. Just integrating the experience. Just being. Stillness. Slowly coming back into an awareness of your body. Notice the breath. Sensations of the breath in the body. And just allowing this experience to integrate in your mind. Just giving yourself some time, just lie there comfortably as long as you need to. If you feel like you're ready to move, you can move. Put your legs up, you can roll. And I wouldn't get up straight away if you roll onto your side and then slowly get up. And when you're ready, if you need a few more minutes, just lie there, listen to the music and relax. This is from a music album called Music for Healing. So just let the healing happen. So I'll just have a few minutes of silence. Stay there as long as you need to. And whenever you feel ready, you can start moving and sitting up. Okay, Sichan's back. Just gonna unmute you all. Just gonna unmute. So if you still lying down, you need some more time, that's fine. Feel like it's right to sit up, then just gently roll onto your side, sit up, and get up on your feet straight away. So would anyone like to share anything? Anne, how was that for you? Still muted. Everyone's muted. There we go.
I had a great experience.
Did you? Okay.
It's not the first time I do it.
Okay.
I
Excellent.
was with Yeshua. I was in such peace. I was crying. I was flying. I feel so empty and so full at the same time. It's like, wow. I can't even put the words yet to the experience I had. But I was loved by Yeshua. I felt it so much. It was like it was really emotional. And my cat was with me the whole time. It's the first time I experienced this at home.
Okay.
So it didn't leave me for a second. He was next to me and he was in peace with me.
Yeah.
Completely. It's like he really feels it. He's sitting right here next to me now. On me.
Hello. A holotropic
really,
cat.
I had really a good experience, and your voice. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
My pleasure. Yeah, I'm very, very glad you had a.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, profound. Yeah, it's a mystic experience. As you say, you can't put words to it, and you don't have to. You know, it's just your own experience. So,
thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure. So thank you for joining us. Really appreciate it, and you're most welcome to continue. So I'm starting a whole 1-year journey, working through A Course in Miracles. On Sunday, we're starting the year's program with a 6-week course. That's kind of just the introductory part. But you're most welcome to join us for that. Join us for our first live session on Sunday afternoon, and we do this kind of thing, and we do discussions and meditations online using Zoom every day, twice a day. So it's a deep dive into A Course in Miracles. So if you like this, well, this was kind of a peak experience because it's do this every day, but yeah, so it's profound stuff. So yeah, please join us on Sunday. I'll send you a WhatsApp message and so on. And I have a mailing list as well. If you'd like to join that, just send me your email address. Yeah. So Marlene says, thank you for this beautiful experience. John, it was very powerful and moved me deeply. No words. So if you'd like to say anything, Marlene, up to you. Thank you for that feedback. It's always good to know that something's happening. I'm speaking into the down the ether, and then it's nice to know that people are actually having an experience. And it's interesting just how powerful it is, because even though we're not physically together, it's like people are having an experience. So
It was really amazing, Jonah. Thank you so much.
Yeah, my pleasure.
It was really, really, it was so profound.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I have to go for a Shabbat to prepare.
Yes.
But really, it was really, really profound.
Oh, good.
And really a
Yeah.
very spiritual, deep spiritual experience. I thank you so much.
Yeah. Yeah, my only a pleasure. Thank you for coming and for also referring others. So Ken,
Yes.
you gave them a lovely experience, which is what it's all about.
Yes, right.
I
Really good to be with you.
And maybe we can do this again with a bit more, a little bit rushed, maybe next
Not in
month.
a rush.
Not in a rush, yeah. We give it
In a rush,
a month.
right.
So maybe this time next month we do it again.
Yes, let's do it again.
Yeah.
Yes.
And,
Sure.
we'll set the date in good time. And does a Friday sort of work? Is that a good day?
Friday is a good day. Yes.
Friday afternoon. Okay. Well, maybe this time next
Before
month.
Shabbat, because now we're really close to Shabbat, so
Yes. Yeah.
I
Well,
need to prepare.
we've pretty much finished. So unless there's anything to share, thank you, Marlene. If you need to go, I'll see you tomorrow. And Katie, I'm also seeing you tomorrow, virtually, so we can unpack this experience if you'd like to. We want to talk about it. So we've got an hour together. So anything you want to share now?
Me?
Katie, yeah.
I fall asleep.
Did you? Okay.
Yes. And I had also fear to do the exercise. I thought after some time, I mean, I experienced right from the beginning tingling and something happening in me. And I was like, oh, this is new. I don't want to have this new experience. I don't know where I will go with this. So I think that supported that I slept because, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So it's a bit of
mechanism.
Yeah, it's a bit of resistance, but that's okay. It's your first time, so we're going to do this again next month, and then at the end of the Art of Letting Go course as well. We're gonna do it to close out.
Yeah, maybe we can do it also in maybe we could also do that in the one session to have 9 of them, I think. So it could be that I'm then more, because then I know, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll have seven 1-hour sessions. So we can do it. So yeah, you'll get to do it again. But it's interesting to observe. If you notice resistance, just to observe that. And go, okay, yeah, so I was resistant to the experience. I didn't want to let go. So there's a part of you that's holding back. And this is really about a surrender. It's just saying I'm going to go through, do the breathing and just surrender to the experience. And then, beautiful. I mean, as Ken just said, and if you can have some really amazing, like a mystical experience. It's your own deep felt experience of love and transcendence and whatever it is. As you said, Ken, you can't really put words to it, can you? It's just like, how do you put words to such a profound experience? And you don't need to. That's the whole point. It's your experience, and just take the next couple of days, a weekend, just to integrate it, just to be with it and sit with it. And they say, in these shamanic experiences, when you have a drug-induced experience, that you should really, sit with that for days and weeks, just let that integrate. And sometimes years, that's not saying you should do this repeatedly. Sometimes they say, like, wait 5 or 10 years before your next experience. Holotropic, there's no drug. You can do it more often, but it's not something you typically do every day. You wait maybe a few weeks, a month. That's why, like, once a month is quite a nice kind of time, and then you might do it again if you feel called to. And every experience is going to be different. You're never going to have exactly the same experience. So the next time, don't have an expectation that you'll have that experience. It'll be what it'll be next time. There's no expectation attached to it. So yeah, any other comments or questions anyone's got?
If I may say, when you put the music on, it sounds much worse. So maybe also the last song, it's better if you send it and people can play it for themselves, maybe, because it really like took me out. It was like, it
Was it
wasn't nice.
distorting?
Yes,
Was it distorting?
so so maybe send also the song or continue it, you know, you put it together and it's much more peaceful.
Yes, yeah. Okay, well, we'll do that. And it was all a bit rushed, and I thought 2 songs in a row.
I'm just saying for you, for the future, but it was
Yeah.
amazing. Anyway, everything was amazing.
Yeah.
So thank you for it. Thank you.
Yeah, only a pleasure. So, Ken, if you want to join us, as I said, on a Sunday, we're starting a course. It's the opening session, introductory session to it at 2:30 Israel time, which is also South African time. And then in the evening, I'm doing a little talk about how this whole process works. But join on Sunday if you feel called to, and see what we do. You'll get an introduction. It's basically working through A Course in Miracles, like step by step, day by day, one lesson at a time, and each section of the text at a time. So I've got a whole year's program that does that. So that might resonate with you or not. But I have your mobile. If you'd like to join my mailing list, please send me your email address and I'll add you to the mailing list. I'll invite you to join via that on Sunday, and your husband's most welcome to join, and your cat.
Thank you very much. Have a great weekend.
Yes, okay. Hope to see you then.
Thank you.
All right. Namaste.
Bye-bye.
Have a good Shabbat.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Efrat, again. We'll speak soon. Let's do this next month.
Jono, thank you so much.
Okay.
That was really lovely. It was really, really important, and I think that I'm going to use it a lot.
Good.
Yes, I'm going to use it.
The first time you've done something like that?
It's not the first time, but it was really, really good. I haven't done it for a long time, so
yes,
I really enjoyed it, and I haven't done this kind of breathing.
Okay.
I've done others, so really, I'm going to use it. I know.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. I mean, you've got the technique. You can do it on your own. You've got the track. But
right.
Well, I'll do it. I'll run it again next month. So last Friday.
Yes.
Last Friday of the month.
Tell me before, and yes, wonderful.
We can then promote it in good time, and I've got everything set up. I've got the website, and so all I need to do is go and change the dates.
Yes.
And I'll improve it a bit, and then you just refer. So thank you so much for referring, Yoav.
Thank you.
And we'll keep in touch. I'm on your mailing list. Are you on my mailing list? Are you getting my emails?
No, I haven't got an email since that first one.
I'll add you to my mailing list. I'm not sure you're on.
Yes.
But you get the WhatsApp messages. So
I do.
Yeah, you're most welcome to join us on Sunday if you want.
I'm working a big workshop on Sunday.
Right. So you got your own thing going. Okay. No problem. All right. So
thank you so much. Big hug.
Okay. Big hug. Yes.
Big hug. Bye.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Efrat. Have a good Shabbat.
Thank you. Shalom, please. Thank you.
Shalom. Okay. Bye
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.